Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. All right, guys. So yesterday we ended up going 2-1 on the free picks. We had the Washington under. We went 1-1 on our player props. We missed going 3-0 by 2 yards. 2 yards in one of our player props. Oh well. Okay, we still had a good day. A couple things I want to address. Okay, so look, I said yesterday in the video, I like Washington, and I thought Washington was going to win straight up. So, Bender, you said Washington's going to win straight up. Like, we're getting really good value on plus money. Why wouldn't you give that to us as a pick? Good question. I know some of you guys, you did take Washington anyways. Everything from, like, hey, you still felt there was value, to someone said they saw a twinkle in my eye when I said Washington, 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 which I thought was funny. But whatever your handicapping strategy was, here's the straight up goods on this. Okay, look, I go back over my games, win, lose, or draw, right? I went back over the game yesterday. When Washington came back and won, my first instinct was, you know what? I'm so conservative now in my old age that, you know, old me would have given that out as a pick, and I should have given it out as a pick, and what a waste, because, you know, we hit a nice money line, and, you know, you bet on a team like Washington to beat a perfect team, like on the road, and why wouldn't you share that? So anyways, look, long story short, I go back over it, I start looking at it. Would I make that pick on Washington at +6? Okay, obviously, if you guys don't remember yesterday's video, I got Washington at +10. I took them on the money line +10. I felt there was a ton of value. Line moved to 6 yesterday. I went back over it and I said, you know what? I can't give that pick out. I can't. It just, once they cross those two key pivotal areas, and I'll talk more about these areas when I do my teaser video, which I keep teasing you guys with. Look, it crossed over 10. Okay, 10 is the third or fourth, I believe, most resulted difference in score in the NFL. And it went by 7 as well. Obviously, 7, I don't need to tell you guys, a very, very key number. And to me at the time, I looking at this and I say, you know, I love Washington, but it's important in sports betting. I'm going to talk about this, a little bit about this when I give you guys the picks today. Professional sports bettors, and you will hear other professional sports bettors say this. The difference between a professional sports bettor and an amateur sports bettor is an amateur sports bettor bets teams, okay? They go and they bet teams, they bet matchups, they bet all this stuff, okay? A professional bets numbers, okay? You bet numbers, you find value, okay? I talked about a little bit about it yesterday, guys. You know, Seahawks game a few weeks ago. People didn't bet it early, but then all of a sudden, I mean, they were at -5 or -4.5, and people didn't bet it. And then right before game time, -6.5, and a flood of public money comes in on the Seahawks. And guess what? The Sharps won on both sides because the public missed covering at 6.5. The Sharps got that money early. They moved over the other side. So the Sharps covered, the public got hammered. And that is the difference, that public, they'll look at a line and they'll say, okay, you know, hey, I liked Washington at +10, okay? So I'll still bet them at +6. But there's a lot of possibilities within the game that cause that to be a losing bet, right? So you see where they've lost value. So look, the bottom line is, I'm glad if some of you did follow the play. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't really say definitively if there still was value at +6. I mean, there still seemed to be some sharp money coming in, but I feel like, me personally, guys, when I look back at that game, when I cap that game, if that line opens at 6, as much as I like Washington, I'm probably not a buyer. So anyways, that's that. Just something else I want to address. I appreciate you guys bearing with me yesterday through, you know, I posted another video about, look, I gave out a 3-unit play yesterday. The line went south, and the timing of it couldn't have been worse, because the reality is, look, I posted on Instagram my bets and where the exact timing of the steam of my bets. Like my bets show up on some books as steam, and 5 dimes. I bet it 6 different times, okay? I bet it 6 different times, and only once did they move the line. So I'm like, you know what? If you're going to keep giving this to me, I'm going to keep taking it, right? So I posted at noon. Basically, it was 12:59 and 38 seconds. I posted on Instagram. Look, I put this bet in. It showed up as steam at, you know, 1 o'clock. And, then I go ahead, I do my video. Literally the last thing I do before I post my video, it goes up. Right afterwards, I don't know if it's as soon as my video came out or just right around that time, more steam comes in. And now the books react. And they drop this line. But what happens, I get people accusing me of, giving out a bogus line. So look, I know a lot of you guys messaged me and said, you don't have to prove anything. And the reality is I don't. But I want people to know that, this is a place you can come that you can trust. So I did post my bets on Instagram under my story. I posted one as like a regular post. So if you haven't checked them out, you can go check them out and you can see, hey, yeah, look, they are there. But here's the situation. Okay, look, I'm self-employed, right? My own boss. That's why I do this. I love doing this. Okay. I'm a professional sports bettor. Despite of doing this for 16 months, this is still it still feels like this new thing, right? I enjoy doing it. I love doing it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I guess I got to develop thicker skin or something. Cause everyone's been great. Everyone's been so amazing except for like a few trolls, but everyone's been like so amazing saying, Bender, don't worry about it. Forget these idiots. And, it made me feel really good because I was not in a good place yesterday. Honestly, I wasn't. Because I'll tell you something, guys. I'll tell you something. Look, I went to work with my dad when I was very young. He had a tire store and he used to sell tires. Very, very successful. Started with literally nothing. Had to borrow the first tires he was going to sell at the store. Just on his name. His name, he was well known. He'd worked in the business already, and on his name, they said, okay, you know what? Here's $1,000 or $500 worth of tires. A lot of money back then in the late 60s. Go out and sell and pay me when you can. And that's what he did. And he turned it into a multi-million-dollar operation. Look, the bottom line is that he told me something one day, and he said, look, the reason I was able to do this, okay, and be as successful as I am, was that I never break my word, okay? I never lie to people. I'm straight up. Because at the end of the day, you get one name in life. One name. My name, Ryan Bender, okay? The second you lie to somebody, that's gone. It's gone forever, okay? And in this business, guys, if some of you guys are aspiring professional sports bettors, you want to get into it, I will tell you guys something, and believe me when I tell you this, guys, because I'll save you a lot of headaches. There's two things in this business you do not do. One, you never lie to someone in this business, okay? Another professional sports handicapper or a professional sports bettor comes up to you, say, who do you like in the San Fran Buffalo game? You better tell them the proper side you're on or nothing at all. There's no lost respect if you tell them, hey, look, John, I'm going to play this one close to the heart. No lost respect. Where there would be is if that person found out that you gave them the wrong side you were on. You never do that. You never lie in this business. And look, the reality is we're extra sensitive. We are extra sensitive. I'll tell you why, guys. It's because there's so many goddamn fake handicappers out there, just jamming BS down people's throat. And the last thing we want would ever be lumped in there with those creeps. So that's the one thing, okay? The second thing, guys, and I'll tell you this for your own, your own safety. There's certain elements in this industry, okay? If you call somebody a liar to their face, which I know the internet's different. That's why there's trolls on the internet. If you call someone a liar to your face, you better be damn sure you can prove that they're a liar, or you could have some serious problems. Not from me. I'm a pretty happy guy. But there's definitely people in this industry I wouldn't want to call a liar unless I had some real proof. All right, guys. So anyways, that's that. I guess the moral of the story is I need to develop thicker skin. But part of the reason I became a professional sports bettor is I don't want to have to answer to anyone. And I shouldn't have to answer to anyone. And I've been straight with you guys since day one. So, bottom line, guys, thank you for the support I got from so many of you guys. For every, shitty comment saying I gave out a wood line, I got back 20 of encouragement. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. Now, if you guys are still listening to my rant, rant over, guys, I do have a couple plays for you guys. Here's what we're doing. I have two plays in the football game, okay? I'm gonna talk about, I don't have a play on the total. I'm gonna talk about the total. I do have a 2-unit play in the football game for you guys. And then I have a player prop as well. I'm trying to get a bit more into the player props, and what I'm finding is if I can get to the games early and I can handicap the games early enough that, you know, I can spend the proper amount of time to get into player props. Because if you guys have done any player prop handicapping, you know that they're very laborious, okay? They're labor intensive. You really have to dive into it and develop a number. It's no different than trying to put a power rating assigned to a team. So you're really investing that time and energy you would put into a team only now into a player, right? And you really have to look at, you know, defensive schemes and offensive schemes and all kinds of different scenarios, right? So anyways, I got some good player props today. Here's what we're doing. I got a 2-unit play for you guys in the football game. I have a player prop in Masterclass. I have a 2-unit college basketball super system play. I have another college basketball play and then 2 additional player props as well. Okay, so 2-unit play in free picks, 2-unit play in Masterclass, and some other assorted picks as well. Again, if you guys are interested in Masterclass, benderwins.com. Sign up. You can email every day with my entire full card of picks, plus all the Masterclass videos. And again, guys, I know some of you guys might not share this, you know, this sentiment, but I feel like, you know, for $3 a day, the information you get, forget the picks, okay? But the information alone that you get out of the Masterclass videos is worth their weight in gold. Like, this is like, you know, 15 years plus of knowledge and of systems accumulated. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. Of course, I think it's worth it, but hey, that's for you guys to decide. Plus, you get the picks. All right, guys. So let's jump into this today. Okay, first, I'm gonna talk about the total here for a second. Okay, this again is another situation where I've run myself off of a pick that I took early on, and I don't know if it's the right decision. But at the end of the day, look, last time I did this, I think I bet what did I bet? I bet the over and then bet the under again. Look, the last time I did end up saving myself a bet, and that's part of, you know, the maturity of being a professional sports bettor. Something you learn later on is, you know, you might fall in love with something early on. You have to find ways to fall out of love with it, okay? So look, my initial reaction to this game was to the under, okay? It was to the under. I like the under. I'm like, look, okay, there's 2 reverse line moves on the under. However, look, I start looking at this game and I start looking at, you know, my expectations from one side of the game. Plus, you know, the real deciding factor for me, and I know some of you guys battle me on this and you think that, you know, it's malarkey. But again, I won you guys a lot of money this year, you know, and I don't mention it always based on like the decision, like the referees, okay? We talked about this a while ago, right? Remember that game we had Jerome Bodger yesterday, okay? Yesterday's pick. Who was reffing in yesterday's pick? Go and look that up, okay? Go and look that up. And that under, that 43 and a half, you guys tell me who was reffing in that game, because I knew who was reffing in that game. I don't always talk about it, but here's the reality. Look, Brad Rogers is a ref today. 36% of his games go under. That's it. 36% of his games go under, okay? 33 and 19 to the over. Now you guys might think, wow, look, okay, that's pretty compelling reason to bet the over, right? Except for the fact that, you know, I like the under too in this game. So to me, guys, this is a pretty easy pick. It's one of the easiest picks I'm ever going to make, and that is no pick, right? Because why battle it? And someone sent me a fantastic message yesterday. I should have wrote their name down so I give them credit on this shout out, because, and I want this to really ring true with you guys, because it's so funny that he sent me this and I read it and I'm like, it's brilliant, because I've always said this about betting in a casino, but I've never said it about sports betting. And it was such a cool thing. And I want you guys to remember this. So look, we go to the casino sometimes, you know, I'm not a huge bettor, but I'll bet a little bit. And I tell people, because I see people get carried away. You know, some of my friends, they get a little carried away, especially if they win a nice couple sports bets. Now, you know, they're 2-day millionaires. They run around betting all kinds of stuff. And I tell them, look. Okay, more times than not, when I go to a casino, I'll end up winning. And it's not because I have an edge. I'm not counting cards. What I'm doing is I'm looking for the plays that have the best advantage. But I realize the only advantage that I have over the casino, there's only one advantage if you're playing these games straight, is the casino has to stay open 24/7. And I can leave whenever I want. And that is the big difference, okay? So how this relates to this message I got yesterday is, and it was brilliant, like brilliant. I got to give this guy credit. He basically says, look, sports books have to post lines on all these games. They have to take your bets, but you have the ability to skip a game. And that is so true. And I just think it's great. I think it's great. I loved it. And it was so funny, so ironic that I always talk about casinos in that sense, where the only advantage you have over the house is you can stop anytime. You could get up $10,000 and say bye. They can't, right? So that's the big advantage. And it was so cool. And I can't believe I never related to sports betting, but it's so true that the reality of the situation is, guys, the books always have to take the bets, but you can skip a game at any time. You can stop betting for an entire day, or you can double down on your efforts, right? So, yeah, I just want to pass that along. But to me, guys, the play in that game on the total, no play at all, okay? I like the unders, got 2 reverse line moves. No way I'm betting an under against Brad Rogers. I'm not going to do it. So I laid off. I got no bet. Going to lose a tiny bit of juice, and I'll sleep well doing that. All right. On to the picks now. We're 16 minutes in. You guys like, just give me the bloody picks. All right, guys, here we go. We got a 2-unit play, guys. That 2-unit play, hopefully you guys have the ability to move the line a little bit. Dallas right now sitting at 9.5. I'm going to take that line up to +10, getting ourselves a key number, +10, -130. Okay, I'm going to walk you guys through my decision-making on this. Dallas, +10, -130. If you cannot get that line up to +10, play it for 1 up to 1.5 units, okay? 1 to 1.5 units. I like being able to get this number. It's a key number. But 1 to 1.5 units. If you're getting 9, if you're getting 9.5, probably if you're getting 9.5, you're okay at 2 units, or 1.5 units. But let me talk about this game quickly, okay? I got 4 system indicators on this game, okay? There's a lot of reasons why the public doesn't like Dallas, okay? There's a lot of reasons why a lot of you guys out there don't like Dallas when I give them out as picks, okay? Last week, Dallas lost 41-16 to Washington, a team that I came out yesterday and said is better than their record and they have a good defense. But look, they lost 41-16, okay? We get into the psychology all the time. We're always digging into the psychology of sports betting, guys. And one of the things we look at is public perception, okay? Look, you got a much healthier Baltimore club coming in, and they're fired up, they get good. And look at Dallas, right? Dallas, I mean, and then you have a spread all they got to beat them by is 10. That's no problem at all, right? Wrong, okay? Wrong. Look, here's a reality situation, guys. I don't know how this game's going to end. I don't. If I had a crystal ball, I'd say, bet your life savings on it. But I don't. But what I tell you guys is betting on Dallas today, we have a distinct advantage, okay? I'm going to tell you guys, I have some great systems. One of the systems I have 4 system indicators on. One of the systems I have, very mature system, very profitable system, has an ROI over 20%, okay? After these blowouts, like Dallas just incurred, after these blowouts, guys, these teams come back. Now, I'm not giving you the complete system. That's a masterclass. But they come back and they end up covering 64% of the time, 63.9% to be exact, okay? Now, here's an interesting little stat, okay? These teams, they bounce back, okay? Vegas has this miraculous way of setting the line so these teams end up covering the next week 64% of the time after getting embarrassed, because what is the public perception? That Dallas got the crap kicked out of them, that Baltimore is going to come in rocking and rolling here and beat the hell out of them just like Washington did. Baltimore is better than Washington, right? Well, look what Washington did to them. So that is a public perception, but I'm telling you guys, 64%. Want to take this a step further? Let's do it, okay? Here again, public perception of a good team versus a terrible team. when I present you guys with the exact same scenario that I just went through, the exact same scenario, okay? And you add in this factor. The team we're betting against made the playoffs last year, and we didn't, okay? So what we're representing here is, you know, good versus evil. What we're representing, guys, is the good team, okay, that we're going to play against, the public perception of this good team, this team that made the playoffs last year, and this bad team that didn't make the playoffs last year. And not only did they not make the playoffs last year, but they got whomped last week. They got the crap kicked out of them. Do you want to know what, guys? That winning percentage jumps up to 67.3%, okay? You guys still doubt that Vegas is good at what they do? You guys still think that Vegas tries to get 50-50, half the money on this side, half the money on that side? Bullshit. No chance. No chance, guys. Vegas knows what they're doing. This game, guys, again, I'm not suggesting this game comes in at 67%, but I'm suggesting that we have a big enough edge in this game to make it a 2-unit play. So that's what we got, guys. Dallas +10, -130. I hope you're believers. All right, next, guys, I got a player prop for you. Tied to it a little bit, yes and no. Tied to it a little bit, yes and no, because it, again, hey, with Brad Rogers, could be a bit of a higher scoring game, right? Could be a higher scoring game, guys. Here's what I like. We're going with Andy Dalton in this one, guys. Yeah, Andy Dalton, right? Right now, his total for passing yards, 224.5 -115. 224.5 -115. I think it's too low, okay? We're going to bet the over on this, guys. Here's the range that I have him falling is 244 to 254 passing yards in this game. So at 224.5 -115, we definitely have some value there, okay? So again, guys, very long video today just for 2 picks. But again, I hope you guys learned something today. I always like to try and get, a message out there. And yeah, so if I felt, cranky yesterday, guys, I apologize for that, but I think for good reason. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, have a very lucky day.